Which way is that? What's going to happen with with Arizona? Arizona is in what is a wide open. I mean, really, let's be honest. The Padres are in last place. They're 4 games out of first. All right. I mean, San Diego's having a decent year. As a matter of fact, a lot of people thought San Diego were going to be awful. San Diego's 29-35. That's not bad. The Dodgers are back to 500. The Giants are 500. So you're going to hear a lot of names mentioned. That you just are. You're going to hear a lot of different names and at different times, depending on where they are. So the more you wait, the more you give teams a chance to fall out of it, you increase the pool, and that's what you're trying to do. Increase the pool as much as you possibly can. Sam in Jersey. What's up, Sam?
Hey, Mike. I would love to get Walker.
Yeah, again, another guy, a very interesting guy, no question.
Mike, if you're Sandy and Cashman comes to you and says, I'll give you Andujar, Frazier, Austin Romine, and maybe the kid Chase Adams in minor league, do you make that trade for deGrom?
I can make a trade like that. I might not make exactly that one. I can make a trade with the Yankees on their prospects. But remember, if you watched what Sandy said, he said, I don't get why everybody plays to the extremes. What we're going to do is keep our core, and if we don't do it this year, we'll supplement our core next year and take a shot at it that way. And that's basically what he said. We're not going to rebuild. I mean, he's clearly said that. And that's their appetite. Their appetite is they're going to do what they can do to hopefully stay in it, and they're going to have a core that they build around, and that's it. And I think they're going to keep both pitchers. I really do. I don't think they're going to trade either one of them. So I think the Yankee fan who's going to be in the market for a pitcher, we all know that, is going to have to look elsewhere than Met pitchers. That's all. There's still plenty of guys to look at. Sean in Piscataway. What's up, Sean?
Hey, what's up, Mike? Mike, I got a couple points. Let me get them out. I'll listen to you. Mike, Severino and Germán both pitched on Monday. Why is Boone giving? Is Boone giving Severino an extra day, or is that some ESPN garbage? That he's pitching.
No. Listen, I think I think they're clearly just giving Severino the time. That's not because of television. They're not. The TV has nothing to do with. TV has nothing to do with the matchups. It has nothing to do with the matchups.
And Mike, my other question, real quick, is: do you think Andujar? I mean, obviously you have to give something to get something. I'm not one of these fans that expects to give a bag of balls for deGrom.
Right.
But is Andujar becoming untradeable?
No. I don't believe he's. I think only the rarest of the guys are on the Yankees. The only players that I would tell you on the Yankees that are untradeable right now in season right now are Judge, Torres, Severino, and Chapman. Those 4 players are untouchable. I mean, would I say any other player is totally untouchable? I probably would not say untouchable. I would say those guys would be untouchable. But untouchable is a very high level, okay? That doesn't mean somebody else is going to get traded. We all know they're not going to trade about 10 different or 12 different guys. But untouchable, meaning I wouldn't consider, no matter what you offered me, I wouldn't consider a deal for him. Judge, Severino, Chapman, and Torres would be untouchable. I do not think Andujar would fit into the untouchable range. But that doesn't mean he's going to get traded tomorrow. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that untouchable is a very high level. Tad in Waterbury, what's up, Tad?
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
What's
Thanks
happening?
For taking the call.
What's happening?
God, those trade scenarios are annoying. It's never going to happen between the Yankees and the Mets.
Forget the Mets stuff. Forget the Mets stuff.
Oh, it's disgusting. Anyway, you know how in hockey they designate certain players to go out there and actually start a fight or play or do the dirty work basically because they can afford to get penalized.
They're enforcers. Yeah.
Why don't they do that in basketball? Because
they used to do it in basketball. They used to do it in basketball a lot. I mean, there were many teams. Bill Walton had Maurice Lucas. Many teams had a guy that was there to rough up the other guys. I mean, the Celtics, with the Celtics in the old days, Dave Cowens had Paul Silas. I mean, there were many teams that had the muscle power forward who was there to clean things out underneath the basket. They've all had that.
If Kendrick Perkins was healthy, I mean, I honestly, I know this is very controversial to say, but I wouldn't mind Steph Curry getting laid out. I really wouldn't. He's so obnoxious.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen,
it is so obnoxious.
He does what he does, and the best way to treat it is to have him shoot 3 for 16 like he did last night. I mean, he had a terrible game last night. That's how you get him. You got him clanging shot after shot all over the court last night. Andrew in Port Jefferson, what's up, Andrew?
Mike, thank you for taking my call as always.
What's up?
Listen, the last few weeks I've been wondering where the old Mike Francesa went, considering we're listening to endless hours of nonsensical trade talk. You used to not even entertain trade talk because of how ridiculous and speculative it is. Mm-hmm. It's not. We were talking about end of May. We're sitting here and listening to endless trade talk.
Well, we haven't done endless trade talk on this show. Maybe other shows, but not endless on this show. We don't do endless on this show. You know that.
Well, I wonder it, and you and I have bantered back and forth a little bit about you being back on the radio. Why would I banter back and forth with you about being back on the radio? You have something to say about it? Well, yeah, I had mentioned to you the last time when we talked about it that I was wondering.
Yeah, it was so memorable. I don't remember any part of it. So tell me what it was about.
Well, I had mentioned that I didn't think this was Plan A for you to be coming back to the radio. And listen, we've talked many, many times.
Again, listen. This is what you know about that. About as much as you know about what goes on inside those teams. That's how much you know about this. Zero. That's what you know about it. That would be like me telling you what's going on inside your house. Do you think I have any idea what's going on inside your house?
I'm not a public
You have no idea what's going on inside what I'm doing. So the idea that you would speculate, well, you can speculate like everybody else, but you have no clue what you're talking about.
Because I probably read fake news. I'm not a public figure, but you are.
Yeah, and I can say that of the stories written about what went on here, 98% of it was fiction. And that's just the way it is. But you know what? That goes in one ear and out the other. No one cares. No one cares. The thing is, the reality is I'm here. The reality is I'm here, and that's it. There's no other reality. So that's the fact. And the rest of it is, they have to tell you why I'm here and what went on. They don't know what went on. They have no idea what went on because they weren't part of it. So they had no idea.
Certain people you may think you're leak-proof, but certain people may know what happened.
No, they don't, because it did not happen during the people who knew there's so few people who know. It's actually really very few people. As a matter of fact,
including probably Chernoff would be my guess.
The fan people had very little to do with it, to be honest with you. Very little.
That's what I've heard.
Well, you heard reports about stuff like Chernoff didn't want me back, which is the dumbest thing in the history of mankind. That story was written, and he and I both laughed about it. I mean, so that's the kind of stories that you saw, which were hilarious. I mean,
you're no doubt a ratings.
That's not the point. It's that also he and I have had a long relationship, so the idea that would be true would be ridiculous. I mean, that just doesn't, they don't know anything about our relationship either if they think that. So, I mean, that's just not true. But, hey, listen, that doesn't matter. That kind of stuff is gossip. That's all. It doesn't make any difference. The thing is, I'm here. That's the bottom line. This is the path I chose, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Everyone else can tell you why I did it and what. Hey, I know what went on and what's going on. And like I said, you'll see more to come. We're working on it very diligently right now. John in Tom's River, what's up, John?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's happening?
Good. Two quick things. First of all, this weekend, I happen to love Brett Gardner. I think he's underrated. But are the Yankees going to play him this week? Are they going to DH Stanton? What are they doing, first of all, with that? I have one more point, if you don't mind.
I don't know yet. I'll find out when I talk to Aaron Boone tomorrow. I don't know what they're doing yet tomorrow. I mean, and they're not going to sit any of their guys completely. I mean, do I think they're not going to give Brett Gardner a game? No. Do they have an issue? Do they have an issue this week? Yes. I mean, they have a logjam in the outfield. Okay, they can't. You can't put Gardner, Hicks, Stanton, and Judge in the outfield. It doesn't work.
No, 100%. I agree with you. I'm a big fan of Gardner. I hope that they give him the chance. But I'll do one more point. And Andujar, Mike.
I think Gardner and Hick, you want to know logically, Judge and Stanton are going to play. And again, Judge and Stanton don't both have to play against both deGrom and Syndergaard either.
Yeah.
So I think Hicks and Gardy will both probably have to sit a game. and I think that you have a chance that one of the big guys might sit a game.
Right. Last point, and with folks at Torres and Andújar, Mike, the guy got 30 extra base hits. I don't want to say he's untouchable, but I don't know why the Yankee fans are quick to kill Andújar. I like this guy. I really like this guy.
I like Andújar too. Okay, to call him untouchable, you can't call everybody on your team and untouchable. Nobody has a team.
Why is Torres any more untouchable than Andújar?
If I have to answer that, then you haven't watched enough baseball. If you don't see the difference between those two,
Andújar is a terrific player. I think he's a terrific player.
Andújar is a very solid player. The other guy has star written all over him, absolutely all over him. Andújar's got some things he's got to work on, like. You can't have
walks.
Well, he doesn't walk at all.
Okay, I understand
zero.
That.
Your on base percentage. If your batting average is going to be 280 and your on base percentage is going to be 280, that's going to be a bit of a problem. And right now that's the case. His batting average and his on base percentage are exactly the same.
That's true. That has to work on. But I just think the guy's a double machine, and he's just. Okay, listen. I thanks for the call. I just think I'm a big fan of him. That's all.
Nice player. Hey, listen, very very nice player. I mean, there's nothing not to like about Andújar right now. But the only problem is you got to get a couple of walks.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, the on base percentage you have to work on, but I think that will come at time. I think that eventually comes. I mean, I think that you have to work on more plate discipline, but I think that will come. I see so much potential in his hitting. He's just a terrific hitter. That's all I'm saying. He's a terrific hitter.
No, very, very good player. I mean, right now 306 is his batting average, and he's been very hot of late, and his on-base percentage is 330. So, I mean, that's got to get better. I mean, that's all there is to it. But he's done a very good job. He's gotten a lot of extra base hits. And also, what you like about him, too, is he's gotten a lot of big hits. In the bottom of the order, he's gotten a lot of big hits. And he's been hot of late in his last 15 games. He's been on fire. The guy's hit 375 in his last 15 games. He's been ripping, as a matter of fact. He's been really hitting like crazy. He's gotten better and better. So he's on a very good streak right now, and he's a very good player. But Torres has a chance to be a special player. Not that Andújar doesn't have a chance to be a really good player. He does. Very talented kid and a good, solid player. Could play anywhere. Mike in Babylon. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike, welcome back.
Thanks. What's happening?
Like having an old friend move back to the neighborhood.
Yeah, thanks. What's up?
I just want to, I'm a big Yankee fan, and I don't dislike the Mets. I actually prefer it when both teams are good. It makes it a lot more fun. I thought what they did the last couple of years with the Subway Series, having like 2-game series in the middle of the week, was so stupid.
I hated it. I agree.
Yeah, when I saw this year that they were going back to the weekend 3-game series, I was really excited.
I agree.
But,
I like it.
I mean, I don't say this to sound obnoxious, but with the Mets being as bad as they are, I don't see a lot of juice for this series.
All you need is a 3-run lead for the Mets tomorrow night, and you have juice. That's all you need.
That's
I don't all
see
you need. Hey, there's no. Here's why you know you have juice. There was nobody in the stadium yesterday for the Mets and the Orioles. Okay. I mean, they said there was 30 there. They're
going to get a crowd, but it's going to be all Yankee fans.
Wait a second. Not everybody in Citi Field is going to be a Yankee fan. I mean, I'm sorry that this. Listen,
the Met fans are going to bail out of there.
So wait a second. There's no Yankee. You can tell me you're going to go. I've been to, on the average, 2 out of 3 of those games in every season in every stadium. So I've been in the stands for almost all those games. I've never once not seen a presence from the other team, and I've never once said, "My God, the whole stadium is one set of fans." Not ever have I said that. Never. Now, will there be a lot of Yankee fans at Citi Field? Will there be more Yankee fans at Citi Field than there will be Met fans at Yankee Stadium? Absolutely. No question. But there will be a plenty of Met fans, making plenty of noise, and all you need is a 3-run Met lead and the thing's underway. That's all you need. That's all it takes in this series. And all you need is the Mets to win the first game of the 3-game series. Bingo. Now, if you want to tell me the third game has no juice because the Mets got clocked the first 2 games of the series, you might be right. But I got to see that happen first. I've seen plenty of times when the Mets weren't playing well, and all of a sudden, bingo, bango, there they went and they beat the Yankees up. And you know what? It made it fun. I think the thing is great. I think the idea that they fill the ballpark is the first thing. If you can fill it for the whole weekend set, that makes a big difference. Justin in Jersey, what's up, Justin?
Hey, Mike. It's awesome that you're back. I just wanted to bring the conversation back to LeBron options for next year real quick. I wanted to tell you what I think you should do and then get your take on it. A lot of people are saying he should go to play with Philly, but I just don't see how Philly's beating Golden State. How are you going to defend Golden State in the finals with Philly? Now, you'll make a lot of twos, they'll make a lot of threes. What I think he should do is just sign one-year deals, maybe a one-year deal with the Cavaliers, and try to recruit a smart point guard, someone like a Chris Paul, over to the Cavs to play for 1 year. Now, I know the problem would be, I know Chris Paul is looking for max money, so I don't know how that would work out. Maybe they could sign Chris Paul to a one-year deal too, and maybe even get Paul George over. I just wanted to see what you thought, what he should do for next year, because I don't see Philly as an option.
I'll tell you one of the teams that I thought of, and I don't know if he wants to be this creative. I thought Phoenix might make some sense, because if I was LeBron, I got Booker there. I got a couple of interesting young players there, and I have the number one pick. I could get good.
One-year deal, right?
I could get good really fast there, though. If I'm LeBron and I go in there and take the number one pick in the draft, and I got Booker, who's a big-time scorer. I mean, Booker can shoot with anybody on the planet. He can score. We know he can score 50, 60 points. I mean, the guy can do anything. He can shoot any shot. He's a lethal shooter. He'd be great with LeBron. And they have some young talent, and now they get the number one pick. If you put LeBron in the middle of that, now I don't know if LeBron wants to play with a bunch of kids. I don't know if that would interest him, but if I'm Phoenix, that's how I'd recruit it. LeBron, here's the deal. Right now, where do we go? Here's what we do, bing, bang, and away we go. I think that would be interesting. See, I think you can almost, what makes LeBron interesting is you can almost plug him in anywhere, and it looks good. All of a sudden, it looks like you have a real chance, no matter where you plug him in. Plug me with the Knicks. Say, wait a second, with Porzingis and all of a sudden, you're feeling good about everything. And I think that's the way it is. I think there's a million teams you plug him in on. I mean, there's some teams you look at. I look at Houston and say, how would he ever play with Harden and Paul? It doesn't make any sense. How would he play with Westbrook? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, there are places where it doesn't look like it makes a lot of sense. You wouldn't plug him in Portland, where he's going to play with that backcourt. That doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, there are places that doesn't make a lot of sense, but then there's a lot of places that makes a lot of sense and where it would be very interesting very quickly. Back after this.